Hello and welcome to Tall Guy Films. Today we're talking about using fake blood in movies. So in my most recent film, Statistics, which was about distracted driving, there was a crash scene and I decided to use fake blood, quite a bit of it actually, in the scene. Now when you actually watch the movie, which I'll put a link to somewhere around here, you don't actually see that much fake blood, and that's because, well, partly because I chose not to show it as much as I could have, and partly because the parts where you could see it, I overexposed a little bit, but I did use some fake blood. You probably saw it on at least one of my actors' faces. So, the fake blood, there was really three things I used for fake blood. Now, I actually made a video that showed me making the fake blood, but the audio got a little messed up, so because of that, I'm making this video, and I will cut to the video which I made to kind of show you what I did do. But all the explanation is going to be coming from me now. So, when I did it, there was three kinds of blood I made. Well, I made two kinds of blood, and I bought a third kind of blood. So, the first two kinds of blood I made were kind of a runny, batch-made blood. The first kind was edible, so you could put it on faces, and the second kind was designed so that it could be washed out of clothes more easily. And then the third kind, which I bought, was kind of this gel stuff, which was for putting on the faces because it would stick rather than run, so you could better create scratches and stuff with that, which is, like I said, what you saw on my actors' faces. So the blood which I batch made was a fairly simple recipe, and you can find lots of recipes to make fake blood online. But the recipe I made, basically what it was there was a base, a thickener, and then coloring. So on all of the types of blood that I made, the thickener was cocoa powder, and the coloring was just normal liquid red food coloring. A lot of people will recommend using solid food coloring because that gives you powdered food coloring because that gives you a better color, but it's a little harder to find powdered food coloring than liquid food coloring. So, for my base, I used two different bases. For the edible stuff, I used dark corn syrup. You can use just regular corn syrup, but I wanted darker blood so it would stand out a little bit more. So I used dark corn syrup. And for the stuff that's designed to wash out, I used a base of clear dish soap. And actually, when I was first doing this, I didn't know how well that would work, how well the clear dish soap would wash out, but it actually worked really well. I had a shirt that was completely covered in blood, and it's completely fine now. It all completely washed out, so it worked really well. So using the fake blood, there really isn't that much to keep in mind. Just like I said, you want to be careful around your eyes and your nose and your mouth when you're using non-edible stuff. But other than that, there really wasn't that much. It was fairly straightforward. Obviously, there are some in-depth tutorials that'll help you get more into special effects makeup. But for just basic where you just want to splatter a scene with blood, really that recipe is just all you need. And I will put a link to the video which I use the fake blood in. Like I said, you can't see it that much. But go check that out if you haven't seen it already. The recipe, again, is just for edible stuff, dark corn syrup, cocoa powder, red food coloring, and I added a little bit of water because I went a little overboard with the cocoa, but you don't need to. And then with stuff that'll wash out, it was clear dish soap, cocoa powder, and red food coloring. For the mixture, there's no exact quantities really. You can mix it however you want to your taste, whether you want it thicker or a little runnier, or you might want a little darker or a little more bright red, but you can mix it however you want. It's really up to your own decision what you want your scene to look like. So that's it for this video, and if you like this video, you learned something from it, please hit the like button. If you have any more questions, feel free to leave them in the comments, and I'll see you all in the next video.